Hello students, good morning to all of you. Let us see, in previous lecture we have discussed about the tissue. Now we have to discuss about the further topic of tissue, that is the plant tissue and animal tissue. Before starting this, we have to know about the some topics, like students, in chapter 5 in which we have studied about the cell, we have discussed that the branch of science in which we study about the cell is known as cytology. In same way, there is the branch of science in which we study about the tissue. The branch of science in which we study about the tissue, and the branch of science in which we study about the tissue is known as histology. Histology. What I am saying? The branch of science in which we study about the tissue. This branch of science is known as histology, and the term histology was given by a scientist and his name was Mayer. Mayer. The scientist who has coined the term histology was Mayer in 1819. 1819. He has termed the histology. He has coined the term histology. Understood, students? What am I going to say? The branch of science in which we study about the tissue is known as histology, and it was coined by scientist Mayer in 1890. Now we have to discuss about the plant tissue first. It is given in your book, plant tissue. Plant tissue. Students, plant tissue, in case of the organization of plant's body, the plant tissue are categorized into two main categories. Based on the ability of their cell to divide. Based on their ability or based on their cell ability to divide. What are these two type of plant tissue? We can say that this plant tissue is divided into meristematic tissue, and the other is permanent tissue. Meristematic tissue and permanent tissue. This plant tissue is divided into two main categories. The first one is meristematic tissue and other one is permanent tissue. Now these meristematic tissue are also divided into different parts, different groups on the basis of their presence. This meristematic tissue is the growing tissue, that is present at different region of plants, and these meristematic tissues are also of different types. The first one is apical meristem. Apical meristematic tissue. I am going to write here due to less space. The second one is lateral meristematic. Tissue, and the third one is intercalary meristematic tissue. Intercalary meristematic tissue. Let us see, students, this plant tissue is divided into two main category, that is the meristematic tissue and permanent tissue. On the basis of localization of this meristematic tissue, it is also of different type. It is also of different types, that is apical meristematic tissue, lateral meristematic tissue and intercalary meristematic tissue. Now we have to discuss about the permanent tissue. This permanent tissue is also divided into two main parts, that is on the basis of their organization made up of same type of cells or different type of cells, different type of tissue. They are also of different type. One is said as simple permanent tissue, simple permanent tissue, and other is called as complex permanent tissue. Simple permanent tissue and complex permanent tissue. Now this simple permanent tissue is also divided in different part. It is called as, the three parts of this simple permanent tissue is, I am going to mention here. The first one is parenchyma. Parenchyma. The second one is collenchyma, and the third one is sclerenchyma. And this complex permanent tissue is also divided into two parts. Due to less space, I have to manage. The first one is xylem and the second one is phloem. Let us see, students. This is the summary of plant tissue which we have to study, that is given in your syllabus. The plant tissue. This plant tissue is on the basis of divide. They are divided into two main categories. The first one is meristematic tissue and other is the permanent tissue. This meristematic and permanent tissue is differentiated on the basis of ability to divide. This meristematic tissue are those tissue which have the ability to divide, but when this meristematic tissue change into permanent tissue, then they lost the ability to divide. This is the reason, that's why they are called as the permanent tissue. This is the reason, that's why they are called as the permanent tissue. Means these are the tissue which have not divided. They are not further divided. But in case of meristematic tissue, they have ability to divide. This meristematic tissue change into permanent tissue after a particular time, after a particular period, and when they change into permanent tissue, then there is no dividing. Now, on the basis of the presence of this meristematic tissue at the different parts of plants, different location of plants, it is categorized into three categories. The first one is apical meristematic tissue. Apical, students, we are talking about the apical. Apical, suppose that this is the plant body. We know that plant have the stem, root, branches, and at the apical part, the toppest part, top part of plants, maybe the top part of stem, top part of leaf, top part of root, top part of branch, पौधे का वह भाग जो सबसे आगे की ओर हो, अग्रस्त भाग, जिसको हम कहते हैं अग्रस्त भाग, पौधे का वह भाग जो बिल्कुल अग्र पोर्शन पर हो, आगे की ओर हो, एपिकल पार्ट. This meristematic tissue is called as apical meristematic tissue. What am I saying? The meristematic tissue that is present at the apical portion of plants are called as the apical meristematic tissue, and this apical meristematic tissue is helpful in the growth of plants. If it is present at the top portion of plants, then it will increase. You have seen that if any small sapling is present, then it start to grow rapidly. When you have seen that sometime when the goats grazing the grasses, then the apical growth of plants has reduced, start to branching and new branches start to arise. After that it start to grow. Means we can say that this apical meristematic tissue is present at the apical part of plant. That apical part of plant may be the stem tip region, the root tip region, the leaves tip region may be different. Understood, students? What am I going to say? This apical meristematic tissue is present at the apical region of plants and it helps in the growth of plants. When the apical portion of roots are present, then the roots will develop very quickly. When the apical portion of root has removed or cut, then we will see that the plants are not growing in a proper way. The very important activity is given in your book and you can do it at your home. I am showing you, students. The activity that is given in your book is by using the onion. Student, this is onion, and this activity is given in your book about the meristematic tissue, especially the apical meristematic tissue. This is apical meristematic tissue. Students, this is the root part of this onion. What we have to do? We have to keep this onion into the beaker filled with the water, and water should be filled in such a way that this root should be dipped into the water. After that, what we have to do? After 3-4 days, we will observe that these roots start to develop. These roots start to develop. The reason is that the apical portion of these roots are present. After some time, what we will do? We will remove the tip portion. Means सबसे आगे की जो जड़ है, जड़ का जो आगे का भाग है उसको हम remove कर देंगे. We will remove it. And after then 3-4 days later we will study and we will find that there is no more growth in the roots of this onion. Why it happens? The reason is that when the apical portion of roots were available, then there is the growth. When the apical region of the roots have removed, then there is no growth. Simply we can say that this apical meristematic tissue is present at the apical portion of plants. It may be stem, it may be root, and it help in the growth of plants. Growth of plants. The next topic, that is lateral meristematic tissue. That is lateral meristematic tissue. This lateral meristematic tissue, students, you have seen that when plants start to grow, the girth region of plant is also start to increase. The girth region of plant is also start to increase. This increasement of girth region is due to the presence of this meristematic tissue. This meristematic tissue, lateral meristematic tissue. What am I saying? This lateral meristematic tissue help to increase the girth region of plant. पौधों की मोटाई बढ़ती है, पौधे लंबे होते हैं और जब उनकी लंबाई बढ़ती है तो लंबाई के साथ साथ उनकी मोटाई भी बढ़ना शुरू होती है. That is the girth region. वह girth region जो increase होता है, that is due to presence of this lateral meristematic tissue and it is present in between the nodes and internodes of plants. Now we have to study about the third type of meristematic tissue, that is the intercalary meristematic tissue. Students, this intercalary meristematic tissue is present at the nodes of plants. Nodes of plants. You have seen that when the size of plants has increased, there is the branching. Profuse branching in plant size also start, and that branching is start at the portion, at a particular portion of plant body due to presence of this intercalary meristematic tissue. Intercalary meristematic tissue. What am I saying, students? this intercalary meristematic tissue help in the profuse branching of plants and growth of plants also. We have studied about the meristematic tissue, that this meristematic tissue is divided into three parts on the basis of its localization, and it performs the different function like apical meristematic tissue help in growth of the apical region of plants, lateral meristematic tissue present in between the nodes and internodes and help in the growth of width, or we can say it increase the girth region of plants. In third condition, intercalary meristematic tissue. This intercalary meristematic tissue is helpful to increase the branching in plants, students. As we have studied that plants start to branch at a particular time. After the particular growth, plant start to develop. Many plants start to develop due to presence of this intercalary meristematic tissue. Now we have to study about the next topic of this permanent tissue. Students, why a tissue is called as meristematic and permanent? Yes, we have discussed that this permanent tissue are those tissue in which there is no further division. And this permanent tissue is also divided into two parts. One is the simple permanent tissue, another is the complex permanent tissue. Simple permanent tissue are those tissue which are made up of same type of cells. Simple permanent tissue are those tissue which are made up of same type of cells, whereas the complex permanent tissue are those tissue which are made up of different type of cells. Now we have to discuss about the simple permanent tissue. Students, this simple permanent tissue is also of different types. That is the parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma. You all have to study about it in detail. We will discuss it. This simple permanent tissue is also divided into three parts, that is parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma. This different type of simple permanent tissue also perform the different function like parenchyma. Para, it is made up of Latin word para and chyma. Para means hota hai side and chyma means hota hai filling. This is the tissue that is present at the different parts of plants, near the bark region, at the different region of plants, and this parenchymatous tissue is helpful in the photosynthesis. It also helpful in the storage of food material. It also provide the support to the aquatic plants, and it also helpful in the storage of food material. The second one is collenchyma. Cola, K-O-L-L-A. Cola means hota hai glue or enchyma means filling. These are the tissue that are present at a particular region of plant. Students, you have seen that many plants are very flexible. That flexibility is provided by this collenchyma. बच्चों, तुम देखे होगे कि बहुत से ऐसे पौधे होते हैं जिनकी डालियां काफी लचीली होती हैं. उसकी वजह क्या होती है? क्योंकि उसमें यह जो collenchymatous टिश्यू होता है वह ज्यादा होता है. You have seen that leaves start to fluttering when the winds start to blow. जब हवा तेज चलती है तो पौधों की पत्तियां हिलने लगती हैं, टूटती नहीं है. The reason is that this collenchymatous tissue is present at the petiole region, due to which they start to flutter. We can say that this collenchymatous tissue provides the flexibility to the plants. Now we have to discuss about the sclerenchyma. Students, this sclerenchyma is dead tissue, that is made up of sclerites and fibers. This sclerenchyma is dead tissue, and we know that when the tissue is dead, then it provides the support. It is a supportive tissue. It provides the support. Now we have to study about the complex permanent tissue. Why this complex permanent tissue is called as the complex? The reason is that it is made up of different type of cells. And this complex permanent tissue is divided into two main part, that is the xylem and phloem. This xylem and phloem is collectively called as vascular tissue also. is also called as vascular tissue also, which perform the different function, which this xylem is helpful in the transportation of water from root to different part of plant, whereas this phloem is helpful in the transportation of food material prepared by leaf to different part of plant. And this xylem and phloem have the different components. In next video we will discuss in detail about this permanent tissue. Students, one thing I want to say, that you should have to read all these topics in a proper way, and if there is any confusion you can write in comment box. You have to subscribe my YouTube channel to know about the updates, to know about the videos, and I hope that you are doing this, you are doing your best at your home also. Okay, thanks students.